Azzapp is not a game designer. Look at this pretty high win rate and pick rate. This is peak delusion. What do you mean? The pirate software cycle must continue anew. Guy with a strong, clear, positive opinions. People want to hear more. Starts to muddy his brand with weaker grievances. What kind of statement is that? Mages were viable in bot lane for years and years, and I was talking about this. Like, can we find a situation where I was obviously wrong? The best hate post in my career. Azzapp exposed. If you type that in, I want this to pop up. Azzapp with 1P exposed on Reddit. TLDR, Azzapp is extremely biased when talking about league balance. Mostly just change the benefit his own playstyle. What? Only benefits me and my playstyle. As if I didn't change my playstyle a billion times to fit in with the game. Okay, let's see. I guess we'll give it a read. That's quite a lot of likes and comments. Holy fuck the amount of comments. Azzapp with 1P is the most disgustingly biased person I've ever seen listen talk about the game. Biased would imply that in the face of overwhelming evidence or lack of logic in the statement, you would still go with something else because you're prone to it, because it benefits you. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like most of my positions are very well founded, and when they're not, I usually like don't really give them strong opinions. I feel like I'm approaching things very mildly, but let's see. I'm not here to attempt to undermine Azzapp's reputation as a league player. His achievements cannot be questioned as much as his position as a top tier player. Okay. I'm here to talk about the excellent league player who believes himself to be a game designer, which he's not in the most absolute way. Every time Azzapp with 1P says a word about the state of the game or balance in general, I feel like vomiting. I mean, can we get examples? That's very, very personal, very subjective sort of deal. I mean, like, there's somebody for everybody. My content is not for everybody, and I do recognize that. Much like a lot of other contents, like, you can't have, like, similar overlap between somebody who watches, like, Dante's, or somebody who watches Tyler 1, or somebody who watches then Aloys, and then somebody who watches me. There's obviously, like, difference in audience and the types of content, so I think that's perfectly fine. I recognized years ago that if you try to give your opinion online, it's gonna come as a boomerang no matter what. Now, you can even do the most very basic things online. You can say, I'm against poverty. I don't like when children get killed and shot. I don't like genocide. I don't like when people starve. You can say shit like that, and you're going to have people online who are going to fight you. Like, I kid you not. And that's a lesson you gotta learn. And obviously you want to re-examine what you believe and who you are, but there's only so much value you should give to opinions of people you don't know, right? The idea is that his mind gives birth to be able to make League go bankrupt in a year. I don't think anything can make League go bankrupt in a year. If you did like the worst possible changes, the game would last like probably 3 to 5 years at least. Every single thing he says is biased towards the class of champion he appreciates playing. Every single thing he propose the benefits place all. This is a really weird thing to say, by the way. I don't know if people really think this argument in the opposite way, or maybe I do appreciate certain things, and maybe I'm drawn to certain types of play style because I value those things in like slightly better in hierarchy of design. I value a bit of a slower game. I value a bit more macro tactical experience. That's just a personal preference. You can argue with that all you want. You can say maybe it's better to have like more dashy, Yasuo, Yone type of stuff all the time. And maybe it is. Maybe it is for the health of the game and for the median player. I prefer when League was a bit slower and more chess-like. And that's just my personal preference. I am dipped in bias. I'm dripping in bias because it has to come from some person. I cannot summon up an objective reality to you because there is none. We are experiencing League of Legends, which is a medium and art form. We are all experiencing it through our own bias lens. So something has to stem from your own convictions and your own like personality. Azzapp is not a game designer. This is so pointless. If you go to university and you study that and you did game design and you made like your own personal projects and you're working on cyber, like all of that is meaningless whether somebody wants to give an opinion or not at the end of the day. Like the only thing they should be judged on is the merit of the opinion itself. So this argument of authority is just stupid because then you shouldn't write this and nobody should write this. Rioters would be the only one who could comment, and then you just shut the fuck up. He's an extremely arrogant person. Well, I don't really know. I would like to think myself not being an arrogant. I like to give an opinion and chance to people. Again, this is something that I would love to see an example. Only looks at his own good. Over time, speeches have come out of his mouth, such as Kane should give more gold to death than other champions. Because, I remember distinctly that this is a comment from either a short or a video we were talking about the game balance, and we were talking about how it's impossible to balance perfectly bounties. Bounties bounties are impossible to balance perfectly because of the champion impact and which champions are more killable than others. I was bringing up points that if you're playing like something very mobile, let's say you get 10-0 on a Jhin and you're the only guy who's fed. You're worth 1,000, but enemy Irelia is like 4-0 and Irelia is worth another 600. But Irelia can just, if she reaches, you just feed their strongest character and the game is over. There's differences in how easy it is to take one's shutdown, thus proving that these are like hard-coded solutions. Bounties are a bit of a hard-coded solutions to kind of artificially make the game closer, which is not an elegant solution, but it's probably the best we got. Also, I think I'm 90% certain this take that I made was prior to the changes on optimizations of the bounties. That's something people forget. People forget these things happened. Bounties were very unstable, thus the entire Bao's playstyle in the top lane. And then bounties eventually got reworked and they started factoring much more and many more variables into it so they can figure out to be more balanced. Or again, mage bots are a symptom of the fact that mages have been kicked out of mid lane. That's not the only reason, but it's like a very big reason as to why they're there. Like, is that not true in solo queue? As if competitive was not completely dominated by mages. Competitive is always going to skew towards mages. Champions like Xerath, Victor, and Syndra are not top tier mid lanes. Were not top tier in solo queue. I don't know. I played only Master and above this year. It's really hard for me to see the big picture of the rest of the game. I think these champs aren't very high impact and aren't destructive to solo queue experience. They could be annoying to lane. Like if you have a losing matchup into Victor, let's say you pick something like very short range, like you have Lissandra. It's a tactical champ, but Victor is more lane character, so you're gonna get bullied. You gotta minimize your losses and play for the rest of the game. That's just natural. I really don't know the breakdown here. What elos this person plays, what elos does he think Xerath and Victor are ruining, for example. I don't like meta where Syndra is broken. I think Syndra just recently got buffed, and that's why she stopped here. Before that, she wasn't used at all, almost. Am I crazy? I don't remember seeing Syndra at all during that. The AP item system is fucked. We're at a point in the game where a mage can throw one-shot combo like an assassin not having a mana pool from a distance. This is a first interesting point that he brought up. Coincidentally, something we talked about all the time as well. Mana as a lever. And like, I was writing shit down. I was writing shit down for the interview. And this is going to be one of the questions that I want to ask rioters precisely. Because they're trying to make the game frictionless for people to play, both as an AD assassins. AD assassins have turned into more caster, where it's more like haste damage instead of assassination. And mages were turned into more like less mana usage, less Rod, less tier stacking, less control, less Anivia in the mid lane, into more you just don't use mana so you can build more damage. And now this person might think like LeBlanc is a mage because LeBlanc cannot even Aurora, and they don't even necessarily have to buy a mana item because they don't have mana cost. And it's a legitimate concern. This is actually a good point. This is something we talk about all the time. Given that the removal of friction over time, League of Legends has become, it lost the lever in mana for balancing. They don't increase mana cost heavily. Back in the day, you had heavy AD characters, which have very powerful and strong abilities, but they had superb mana cost, like really high mana cost. Like, think of the classic Sion. He's going to come in, and he can go AP, and he's going to one-shot you, but it's going to be so costly for mana, so you would have to build a lot of mana first in order to be relevant and lean on that play style. And Riot Games have moved away from that playstyle, like GP getting a bunch of mana early, potions, what was it, kleptomancy, whatever, and he's like shooting you and spamming mana to poke you. I'll tell you one thing, this is a very, very difficult to balance, and this is, well, you might, again, if you dislike me, if you're prone to disliking me, you might just say, like, oh, he's biased towards mages, but I like to think both sides, and good luck balancing mages in a way that they don't wave clear. If mages don't have mana for wave clear, mages do nothing. Because the only thing mages do better than other characters is wave clear. That is their only, like, if you think about that like a star graph or like you have specialties, mages are only better than other champs at wave clear. That's what they do better. Mage can throw one shot combo like from a distance more out HP. With more HP and with 100 times the wave clear of all other champions. I mean, the hyperbole in this entire post is like the very first sentence is very nauseating. It's hard to engage with certain individuals when they engage in such hyperbole. And I'm tired of individuals who like that, who manage to pull out the victim card in a meta destroy best. What are we talking about? Where is can we get like a reference of that victim? Like there's like 4 different things stated here without any references to it. This is nothing in the post. Like I truly hope that this remains like the best hate post in my career. Azzapp exposed, if you type that in, I want this to pop up. Because I'm always looking at my own blind spots. I'm always trying to get better and trying to like take into account other people's opinions as much as this fucking dickhead, even though like he's being extremely rude and hyperbolic in every single instance without any real references. League is becoming non-enjoyable for me and for many other players only because it seems that Riot is only interested in the fun of this class and this category of players. What kind of statement is that? This is peak delusion. What do you mean? Mages were viable in bot lane for years and years, and I was talking about this. You could even look up the analysis from somebody like LS, who's been known to historically being correct on a lot of different things. And you can have something like LS, and you can see these things. And mages were viable for the longest time. People just didn't play them. Nowadays, because of the support meta unlocking the mages in competitive, mages then trickle down into the solo queue because people watch competitive, obviously, and are very influenced. So now you have solo queue, which is swarming. You had like 1 in 5 picks was a mage. And Riot Games got their pants in a bunch and they did like 17 different changes that all have one purpose: to boot out mages out of bot lane. And I don't know how this person imagines that this is like they're doing everything possible for mage class when they have said like fuck AD carries, mage is the new shit. Meta stuff aside, this guy is very arrogant indeed. Last time I played with him, he had 0 delay and no map cover. True, that's what I do. Most often I'll play like that. Enemy team openly admitted they were ghosting and watching his POV during the game, and he still refused to cover the map besides the entire team asking for it. I seriously doubt that this is true. Like, I don't know what this instance is, but I seriously doubt this thing has been true. I usually operate under the policy, if a teammate will ask me, normally like I will just cover. The entire team asking for it, I would have certainly done it then. Then proceed to flame hard his jungle for being useless. When do I flame? When do you guys catch me flaming? I don't remember typing in a game like negatively ever. I also do not get how anyone could watch stream or if I said getting annoyed. Don't. You don't like what's on the radio? Turn it the fuck off, man. Did this actually happen? Seems insane to be told you're actively ghosting zero map current and complain about your jungle where you literally cannot do anything. Well, it did happen. His answer was that the best player on the team, he was allowed to do what he... What is this lore? I can do what I want. There are no rules for me. At the end of the game, the jungle went to complain his stream, got banned, insulted by his entire chat. This could be possible. Salty people tend to come in on, like, a rare occasion, they get clapped if they don't engage normally. But even on this, because you watch me, you know, I tell my mods very often, like, every time I see this sort of stuff, don't ban them. I want to hear what they want to say. Every single fucking time I've done that. And I get mad at my mods if they ban somebody before I got to see what they say. Like, 95% of the time, it's usually something so fucking obscene and uninteractable. Then they get tossed out. But I'm genuinely curious what they have to say. Like, when you try to argue about him with DFF stuff or anything else, different blindly follow what Azzapp says without questioning it. Or if you try to do so, you get called hater or toxic player, just having a different opinion. You guys, and it's not a hit piece on me only. You guys are catching some fucking flame. You don't have any real opinions. You don't back them with anything. You just repeat what I say. I'm not a fan of watching, but he's right about the FF stuff at least. He's right it should not FF. He's not right about not having the FF option at all. When did I advocate for removing FF? I would like for that to happen. Even in the very inception of this fucking movement, in the very first video I said, I'm quoting myself, I have no machinations of FF ever being removed from the game. Thus, I propose the changes of adding the check mark on the tab, and maybe delaying it from 15 to 20, or making like 15 fully unanimous. I have no machinations of surrender, AFK, give up culture, vanishing. I would like, and I think it would be much, much better if surrender is unanimous at 15. And after 20, it's 4-1. So it should be an anonymous vote on the scoreboard. So when you think the game is lost, you open tab, you tick the box, boom, you are there to surrender, the number goes up. If enough people do it, the game is terminated. When did I advocate for removal of it? How are they perverting my message so hard? I agree, he's obviously a very good player, but his attitude is super smug and very much emanates in I'm always right. Like, can we find a situation where I was obviously wrong, but I kept this up? Like, I don't know, I feel like among the league scene and in general, I feel like I like to understand every side, and I like to figure out, and I'm my own biggest hater and critic. Like, these things that I've said, like, I've thought about, like, all of these things, like, obviously with like real life examples and real things. I've thought about all these things. Like, you don't get to rank 1 by being super smug and thinking everybody else is always wrong. You gotta re-examine yourself every step of the way. Zed mages is a huge problem. They're playable in every role, even in jungle, and now they get buffs. Wait, who got buffed? The second problem is AP items. AD items are split between few categories. Assassin, fighter, auto attack, right have divide AP items for mages, AP assassin, AP bruiser to fix the problem with mages in every lane. Plus balance AP champions with new items. The way they will mostly buy from category. I would like more like versatility between mage items. Like these people, like I don't feel like they know me at all. I don't feel like they're familiar with my work at all. Again, this is like a historic thing. I was one of the original mage item haters because they were too broken, because they would give you everything. Every mage item would give you CDR, mana, HP, and AP. Look at ability power items. Like, look at this shit. Like, this gives flat AP a huge amount. This is HP, AP, bonus stuff. HP, AP, HP, AP. Where's the glass cannon build? Where's the item that gives you execution? Why does Horizon Focus not make you take extra damage? Take extra 10% damage, but add him execution value. Like, every mage is just fucking 3000 HP, boring one-shot. Like, you're just one-shotting the waves clearing, and nothing happens. So what happens is 2 mages have 50% win rate, both of them, because neither of them impacts the game, and they just coin flip on the other teams. And I said that's not good. Again, it's like antithetical to my message. I don't understand, like, what are they saying here? I mean, I might not necessarily agree with everything he says, but it's really funny on how on the one thread I can read repeatedly they're balancing around pro play too much and it makes no sense, and then open another mages aren't kicked out of mid because mid is dominated by mages in pro play pick rate. I agree, mages are completely broken or getting buffed in mid next patch. With that being said, you can't use the pro play arguments against his opinion of mages mid, unless you also reconcile the fact that mage bot is in fact not a real problem. Mages don't dominate pick rate in pro play, they're prevalent. Yeah, it is like a very weird statement, it's contradictory to itself. And the solo queue mages did get kicked out of mid and then realized bot was just better for them. That's true, like ask like a lot of mage players, from one of the best like Q-Pick and a bunch of other mage players. If you just ask him, why are you playing this? Why are Aurelion Soul players playing bot lane? Because it's better. It just works better. He just cannot play mid. He doesn't survive mid. It's not worth it. People gotta realize that a part of this doesn't even have to do something with the fact that the bot lane is stronger, or like there's some sort of like disproportionate strength. It's just that one of the reasons is also the mages just want to play mages. Like if there's a person who wants to play a mage, he wants to play a mage. But if it's unplayable in mid lane, he will go elsewhere and he'll play it somewhere else. And bot lane doesn't even necessarily have to be stronger per se. This is like a very difficult thing to eloquently say, because strength doesn't mean like success in that lane. He could be exactly the same strength, but the nature of the bot lane being 2v2 and potentially 3v3 allows for much more variance between plays. So like there's more things to be done if you understand the 2v2 dynamics compared to the mid lane, which are more like locked-in dynamics. If you have a losing matchup, you will be a losing matchup. That's it. Bot lane is subvertible entirely because there's like 4 variables instead of 2. I don't know what you're talking about, the mages being kicked out of mid and so there's so many good mages in the tier list. Bro, this is giving like gold elo, I swear. Again, not to like disregard the opinion based on the elo, but like you really gotta think deeply than the tier list and the percents. You gotta go in a little bit deeper than that. These people probably don't even know how to read the tier list. They probably like click on the win rate and then they see like, oh, there's like a Quinn mid lane, she's dominating with like 52%, and then there's like a Karthus bot lane with the highest win rate, and there's a Victor bot lane with a high win rate, there's VelKoz bot lane with a high win rate, and then they realize, oh, this guy's picked in 0.3% cases, picked by the very mains in the fucking game, or it's picked in like a very, very good circumstance in the first place. And it's like, yeah, it may have been used as a counter character. Like, you pick Jinx, I pick Vel'Koz. Like, okay, you get shit on. Usually the pick rate and the win rate are inversely correlated when you look at these tier lists, and I'm not sure these people are aware of that. You look at that, you'll notice the pattern. Isn't it the guy who said Vel'Koz is a garbage champ this season? If you want to climb solo queue, yeah. Meanwhile, Vel'Koz has pretty high win rate and pick rate among most mages and can kill in one spell. What's the pick rate? 2.9%. 1%. And the high win rate is the bot lane, 1%. So if you are a casual guy and you play like 3 games per day, you will meet this champion once per fucking month against you. You will see him once per month. Mid lane is even less, but like mid lane is always floating about 50% because it's just 0 impact. Bot lane is the one where you can actually win versus good matchups. But like, where do they get high win rate? I'm pretty sure their 80 carries are over 10, 15, 20. Like Ezreal's always picked. You see Kai'Sa now all the fucking time. Bot lane, let's go pick rate. Kai'Sa, 21%, 14%, 13, Jinx 9, Lucian 8, Tristana, MF, and then you have Ziggs. Why is he talking about VelKoz here when Ziggs is like 6 times the pick rate, less risk, and more tactical value for the team? What are we talking about here? Are these people like, do they even play the game? The pirate software cycle must continue anew. Guy with a strong, clear, positive opinions. People want to hear more. Starts to muddy his brand with weaker grievances. Eventually, his challenge and mistake shows opinions are, as far as he's concerned, are fact. Pressure mounts against obvious negative tech. Double down on opinions. Eventually starts calling people out to challenge him, paid actors. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened with the whole pirate software drama, but I know for a fact there's an industry on YouTube videos, people making a same exact video with a obnoxious fucking AI edited image to make him look like a zombie, full black background, and saying he's done. He's done! This time he's done! There's an entire industry of people like making a living off of that, I swear. But I don't know what happened, so he's a VelKoz player, enough said. 9 likes. I mean, good point. I don't expect much from him to be VelKoz. Seems like it requires skill, but it's a disgusting low pin easy champ. True. Guy, but who tries to hit an iron 4 players like, wait, this is easy. I just hit him. Shout out to time to this episode of sounds like you said, Kiana were traditionally level 3 all in 100% solo kills and fucking talent designed to be weak early. Well, yeah, they are. Like, do you play any assassin versus mage matchups mid? Like, you're supposed to be squeezing out advantage, but like level 1, level 2, even level 3, obviously, you're like, Kiana and Zed can all in, but if they go in, they should be punishable after that. How is that not true? I don't understand.
Let's listen to this one. Shout out to the Azzapp that said assassins like Zed and Kiana, who traditionally were level 3, all in 100 to 0 solo kill champs, and Talon, who did the same thing but at level 2, were designed to be weak early. But he's not wrong. This is 100% true. He's flaming Azzapp for saying something that is just true. Bro, I'm out of this Reddit. Like, these people are just full of hate. They have no reasonable takes. It's disgusting. What the fuck, man?